Hello, my awesome and amazing Scorpios. It's Mel with Blue Scorpion Tarot here to bring you another general collective reading. Let's see what's going on in the overall energy dynamics. Calling upon the trusted ancestors of my Scorpio viewers and subscribers to bring in the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth through the power of the numbers. And so it is. And of course, rolling the dice to see what I need to shuffle the deck to. Power of number 7. Power of number 7 again. And power of number 9. Could see the Chariot card show up, possibly the Hermit, but adding up the numbers brings me to the number 23. The High Priestess and or the Empress card may kick in. Some of you could have been born in 1972, 1973, or possibly 1977 or 1979. You could have been born in 1992, 1993, or possibly 1997. You may be dealing with a Cancerian or a Leo born in the month of July, possibly a Virgo or a Libra born in the month of September. You might be dealing with an Aquarius or a Pisces born in the month of February, and or maybe possibly Pisces or an Aries born in the month of March. But going to the power of number 23 for the beautiful star sign of Scorpio. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. Okay. Trusted ancestors of my Scorpio viewers and subscribers, what is the overall general collective energy, please? What does Scorpio need to know at this time frame? Show me what's up. Queen of Swords. Thinking. Are you thinking right now, Scorpio? Somebody could definitely be thinking about you. Right now, you could have your little heart, you know, locked up in a lockbox in a prison, contemplating. For some of you, it could be contemplating moving on from a person or maybe a situation that's not serving your highest purpose. You may find yourself daydreaming, thinking about the future, thinking maybe too much about the past. Let's see how this Queen of Swords is coming in. Some of you are dealing with an air sign, an Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. Somebody has got guilt, remorse, regret towards you, Scorpio, for how they treated you. There's a judgment call. You could have put a judgment call on someone. This is very Scorpionic energy. Or somebody's coming back in to revitalize a connection. Could be a friend, a family member, a former lover. But right now you could be in this deep-seated reflection about completely moving on from you know, toxicities, negativity. Again, what is not serving your highest purpose? And it could very well be true, not allowing the past to hold you back. It doesn't mean when we move on from the past, that doesn't mean that we don't recognize that if we had a tumultuous past or there was trauma, if there was abuse, to ignore it. No, 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 no. I feel a lot of you Scorpios are going through a major healing transformation. That's what I'm picking up here. Some of you may feel like you have to cut your losses on something or someone that maybe didn't, I guess, live up to your standards or your expectations. Okay. Let's take a look. Let's go into the Kipper deck. This could be a mother figure who is regretful for how they treated you. But we got a lover situation going on. Moving on from the past, a past loving situation you could have felt taken advantage of. You could have literally been dealing with a thief. But I feel like this was more control and or manipulation. You could feel that maybe for some of you, you were robbed of your childhood. Okay. So thinking about your past, where you're at now in this moment in time and how you are going to move forward. Okay. So a lot of you are in, contemplation about your romantic life. Can you trust again? That's what I'm hearing from Spirit. Trust. Feeling like, wow, can I really trust somebody with my heart? I've been, heartbroken so many times. Well, here's the thing. Okay, that's a triggering thought, isn't it? Being repetitively hurt by people that you fell in love with and you thought that they loved you. You could have been dealing with a narcissist, somebody who had narcissistic behaviors and or tendencies, somebody who could have been in love bombing you, like I said, took advantage of you. They could have used you for sex, could have used you for money, right? You're going to make your way through the storm, Scorpio, but a lot of it has to do with your choices. It has to do with how you are going to proceed forward, how you're going to become confident and stronger again, emotionally. Because remember, our emotions don't kick in until we have a thought. So watching your thoughts. Remember how I always say emotions are the gasoline that fuel intentions? Okay. So thinking things through. Think about, maybe you do feel like you have to cut your losses, or thinking about the losses, the loss of love, the loss of time and energy and money, everything that was spent maybe towards a, potential partnership that didn't work out. Think about more. What did you contribute? What did you add to the magic of the connection? So validate yourself. Because we were never taught or trained how to validate ourselves. Because we've been programmed to seek validation outside of ourselves. So think about what you did give, okay? Think about what you did give. Think more about, okay, that was a happy time. You know what I mean? Think about the good things that had transpired. And then think about, even if the things that happened were negative, what is your learning lesson? What are you extracting of your wisdom and your knowledge that can help you to get more clearly defined in regards to the next relationship, the next beautiful relationship? We are manifesting for that. The next beautiful, harmonious relationship that you're going to have with and be with your true soulmate. This could be you coming to terms, maybe you were burying things, burying your emotions in the quicksand in order to try to heal maybe faster, but who's to say? Maybe those emotions need to come back up to the surface and re-examined to understand and process more. How did the last relationship make you feel? Were there more negative times than positive times? Write it down. You will love again, Scorpio. It's a choice. If you keep feeding and entertaining that, oh, I'll never love again, nobody's ever going to love me, and all of this self-sabotaging beliefs because of the way that people have treated you before in the past and how they've lowered your self-esteem. I mean, you don't have to feel guilty about leaving a liar behind. I don't care if it's a friend, a family member, a former lover. We don't need to tolerate deception. We should never tolerate deception. If somebody lies to you once, they're going to do it again. So we would know that, okay, you know what? That person didn't have the ability to be their true, authentic self, to come to terms with their own emotions, to be emotionally responsible and nurture the relationship. I wish they would have nurtured the relationship a little differently. Okay, it didn't happen that way. But what can you learn from that? Now you can re-examine what kind of new soulmate, how to get more crystal clear with the universe. We don't need to beg the universe. We don't need to beg Mother God, Father God. We don't need to beg our angels. All we have to say is trusted ancestors, spirit guides, guardian angels, whatever you feel connected with, Jesus, Krishna, Ganesh, whoever you believe in, Buddha. Keep me on the path of least resistance in my love life. Lead the way. Be that shining light to help me to put one foot in front of the other to get me towards my soulmate. And thank you. Sometimes it's all we need to say, you guys. It's no different when we're asking for that spiritual help, that spiritual support. We have to have firm faith. Even though we can't see, you know, some people are that clairvoyant to where they can see spirits, they can see energies, okay? I'm more clairsentient. I can feel, I hear like clairaudient, and I can feel, I can hear the sound of like a voice every now and then, but it's not like, it's a phrase, but it sounds like my own voice, you know what I mean? But I know that that is of the higher realm, the higher self, okay? So when I feel challenged to develop that relationship, we don't want to call on our trusted ancestors or spirit guides and call on Jesus and God at the last minute when we're in a time of crisis. If we're going to build up that relationship with spirit, or if you believe in a particular entity that you can identify with, connect with, we got to build that relationship up and have that faith. And have that belief. Yesterday, I was overwhelmed. I had a lot of irons in the fire, but a lot of it had to do with my office. And I said to my trusted ancestors, I thank them after I was pulling all of this paperwork yesterday. And I was feeling overwhelmed. I was like, oh my God, I can't think. I can't think. I can't think. So what I was doing is it was like, I was feeling this pressure up in my upper chest area and in my shoulders. I know a lot of times when I get weighed down, I feel this immense anxiety that comes from my neck down into the shoulder, like a little bit past the collarbone. And it's like a, you know, like, oh my God, anxiety, right? Because I had to admit to myself, I had to admit it was my fault. I took full responsibility for my actions, that in the past, I was throwing things wherever I wanted to throw it. And I don't want to be like that anymore. That's the chaotic mind. When you got a lot of clutter in the house, this is how your mind is thinking. We cannot think when we have clutter. We cannot manifest appropriately when there is clutter. We can't allow that flow of goodness, our soulmate, our money, when we have clutter. We have to keep up on it. We have to, not to create more clutter, we have to keep up on the cleanliness, and we have to keep up on that organization, because when we are organized in our temple, what is our temple? Our home. The 3D temple is our home. And we want to allow that good flow of energy. One of the major things, clear out the clutter. And other things will start flowing a little bit at a time in your life. And I said, trusted ancestors, I'm feeling guilt, remorse, regret, feeling the anxiety, thinking, overwhelmed, all this paperwork, past papers that just needed to be tossed out. And I'm just like, oh, the organization. I was like, somewhere in my subconscious mind, like, no, I am going to I'm going to stop focusing in on how overwhelmed I am. I'm going to call on my trusted ancestors and building up that relationship again with them and say, I need your help. Give me the guidance that I need. Put me on the path of least resistance to the organization so that I can think and I do not have to experience this feeling anymore of the heaviness. So whenever we ask them, keep it simple. Keep the request simple. Don't say, I want, I need. That's a lack, begging energy. We do not need to beg. The universe is already within inside of us. Spirit is already within inside of us. So after I got the main hub of the major paperwork that needed to be organized, I have boxes in my living room. I don't like the fact that the boxes are in there trying to separate or, organize or categorize, but it's good for now, but it will have to change because I need a filing system. I need the proper equipment. I need a file cabinet in order to file appropriately, and I don't have to look at boxes in my living room right now, but I made a breakthrough. We have to give ourselves credit, you guys, when we make a breakthrough. And then we can feel that sense of relief. If we keep burying things in the sand and don't come to terms with the heaviness, what is really probing at us, what is bothering us, we're never going to grow. We're never going to advance. There we go. Path of least resistance. What did I just say? Calling on our trusted ancestors. Show me the pathway of transformation. Why would I say that? You got the butterfly. Butterflies are proof. I remember seeing this statement. Butterflies are proof of a second life. And it's so true. If you are burying emotions and not coming to terms with the anxiety, the depression, ignoring the fact that you feel down and out, or ignoring the fact that you feel overwhelmed, it has to come back up to the surface and be dealt with in an effective way. My weakness is organization. Maintaining a healthy schedule. It is one of my weaker points. Very strong in other areas. But organization, because even as a kid, I can attest and go back into my memory of being disorganized. Because now that I think about it, it is a childhood trauma that I went through. Because my life was very chaotic in a way, because I was raised by a single parent. There was no father figure. Barely saw my mother growing up. I didn't feel that emotional connection with her. The emotional support, the whole day would go by, wouldn't see her. There was that disconnect. And tossing things. That was, if your kids are, this is what I feel the analyzation is. I'm not saying it's all truth or fact, but you could probably do your research. Now that I think about it, if you have children that are very disorganized, they could be stressed. What could they be stressed about? Instead of saying maybe clean your room, or there's going to be, ask them why. Like, hey, I noticed lately that, your room is starting to get cluttered up. Is there something going on? Is there something wrong? Is there something that you want to talk about? How is it, like, you can talk to them and say, are you struggling with something? Because that is a cure. That is, like, for me, growing up, that was my chaotic mindset as a child, because nothing was normal. Nothing was balanced. You can see a lot through children, like what they're dealing with, through how they keep their room and their behaviors, and if they lash out, you know what I mean? So there could be childhood traumas that you could be dealing with that have not been attended to. And it could be affecting you also too in your romantic life. Feeling disappointed, let down, rejected. Did your parents let you down? Were your parents there for you emotionally? Did you feel the love? Did you feel the love from your parents? A lot of our behaviors and our actions and our patterns now in our adult years have a lot to do with how we were raised. And also what kind of chaos could have been going on, or trauma could have been going on in the early days of our youth. So it's about self-reflection. This is how I'm seeing it through the Queen of Swords. It's one step at a time. It's baby steps. And that was like, you know, I had this like huge motivation. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get this office cleaned and it's going to be done. And I'm like, that's so unrealistic. I know myself better. You know, I know myself better. But I called on my trusted ancestor. And I'm like, okay, here's the deal. This is my fault. I am to blame. I just throw things anywhere. I don't want to be like this anymore. I choose to change. I choose to change my viewpoints. I choose to change my habits. Again, it's about self-awareness. You know, because it's like I always watch every now and then like the Better Homes and Gardens, and you see these beautiful closets and the organized cabinetry and the pantries and all this. I am quite proud of myself because like a few weeks back, I actually did get pretty much got my whole entire kitchen organized to the way I find it to be very functional. So it makes me happy. The only thing I have to take, again, responsibility for is that I'm keeping up on the dishes. I'm sanitizing everything down. I'm being conscientious, you know, and trying to implement more of a regular routine of what days I'm cleaning this room and that organization. You know what I mean? So it's a challenge for me because my schedule gets crazy, because my mind gets crazy. My mind gets scattered, I have to admit. But I do get the job done. I do get the work done. So when I get the work done, I pat myself on the back. I'm like, okay, good job, Mel. Think about what you did to contribute to a relationship. What were the great elements? Don't beat yourself up if you think you could have done this and you could have done that. You could have changed this. Sure. That's in another alternate reality. You could, in a way, Spirit's telling me this now, and it's not such a far-fetched idea. It's a little bit of time travel when you think about it. You could, if you wanted to, as a healthy exercise, you could write down on paper an alternate reality of how you would have wanted to see the situation transpire. Even if you don't want that person back, but what would be the alternate time frame reality? That could be a very healing way to help you let go of the past. Let's say you don't want this person back, but you wish the breakup could have happened differently. How would have you rather handled the situation? Create that timeline of reality, the alternate universe of the situation, because it can help relieve maybe some of that stress, some of that anxiety. I don't want you to give up on your love life, you guys. I don't want you to give up on your dreams, your goals, the path that you're supposed to be on. This is about having, I feel, ultimate faith and belief within you. And to get over anything that is weighing you down. Sure, I'm seeing a romantic situation. Could somebody come back? Somebody might have a judgment call on them. All paths lead to you. Could be. The long and winding road. I'm hearing the Beatles right now. This person could try to come back to heal and mend. I'm hearing the Bee Gees. How do you mend a broken heart? I think this is more about you, Scorpio. Not so much maybe about the other person. Because a lot of you have already come to terms with the pain, the sorrow, the grief, the heartbreak, what worked out, what didn't work out. I think this is more or less your self-awareness and how are you going to choose to proceed and move forward gracefully and confidently and not have your beautiful heart, Scorpio, locked up in a prison, and to be able to fully trust another human being. It might take some time, but don't allow it to take forever, because you still need that. You need that forward movement. You need that motivation. You will love again. If you tell yourself you're going to love again, yeah, guess what? It's going to happen. My awesome and amazing Scorpios, if you would like to book a personal reading with me and do it through the power of the numbers, you can hit me up at bluescorpiongifts@gmail.com and my amazing assistant, Victoria, will book you for that personal reading. But until next time, take care.